What's up, PlayStation Insiders? My name is Dan Thompson, here with the one and only Caitlin Glass, voice of Cammy from Street Fighter, and if you're an anime fan, Winry Rockbell from Fullmetal Alchemist. Caitlin, how have you been enjoying Kumoricon 2016?
It's been wonderful. I'm having a great time.
Has there been any panels that you've had like a really good audience for or anything like that?
Have I had any panels? No. Yeah, I've only had two so far, and they've been very well attended. Folks have come out in droves. It's been lots of fun.
I mean, like, a lot of people have been saying, oh my goodness, Caitlin Glass is going to be here. She's the voice of Winry Rockbell. Like, I know that our group was like, oh yeah, you're interviewing Caitlin Glass? Oh, what's going on there? Like, so we were excited to be able to talk to you. As I'm for the most part, I play Ryu. And whenever I see Cammy, do not know what to do against her. I always die from her. She is way too fast, and she just jumps over Hadokens, and I can't do that. I just can't do that at all. So, but there's a lot of people who play your character. You have, like, a very charismatic personality, a very broad range voice. Like, I didn't even know you voiced Cammy and Winry as well. But besides that, like, what have been your favorite roles recently?
Well, I really enjoy Cammy, and what's great about Street Fighter is that it's the gift that keeps on giving. They keep doing another one every year or so, or there'll be DLC for something. So I really enjoy playing her, and I think that she's had a lot of development, especially in Street Fighter V, but in the last installation of the Street Fighter 4 series with the introduction of DiCaprio, whom I also play. So she's on the list of favorites for sure. Some other favorite roles. Last year I got to play Rose in Tales of Zestiria, so it's really cool to be part of the Tales of franchise, and she's a really special character also with two different voices for the one person, and I love roles like that. Let's see. Do you mean anime or video games?
I mean, you can stick with video games or like the Venn diagram of the nerds that are on our site. Basically.
Okay, I play Thorn in Battleborn.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just so off the wall, and with her really thick accent, she's very angry and just so much shouting, and it's really therapeutic. And also, the folks at Gearbox are really funny writers, so the things I get to shout and yell are just crazy and fun.
Yeah, I've always loved the writers in Borderlands. So like with Battleborn, I'm glad that translated over. Like, you voice actors seem to have so much fun with that game.
We have a great time, and when I know that I have a session, I'm always so excited because it's like, what do I get to say this time? Like, how do they keep coming up with this stuff? I don't know.
So like recent events, like last week or the week before that, there were a few voice actors that went on strike. I know that you exactly haven't due to circumstances, but like there's a lot of miscommunication going around. Is there like any sort of like statement or like clarification that you can make for us right now?
Well, for me to clarify, I haven't gone on strike because I'm not a member of the union, so I cannot. But I completely stand behind all my fellow voice actors who are striking. And yeah, people seem to think, they don't really know what it's all about and what the reasons are. But essentially it's that, to my understanding, an actor is only paid for their time in the booth on video games, and same thing with anime, and it's not like being in a film where you're paid to make the movie and then you receive residuals off of the box office and off of the sale of home video and things abroad and all of that. And for all of the money that comes in for video games, the actors they still only see what they get when they record, and their performance is a massive part of what makes the game something enjoyable to you at home as a player. So they're seeking some compensation for that, and then also just firmer and stricter rules about the recording process itself. Video games, as you know, it's a lot of warfare and a lot of fighting. It isn't just sitting around in dialogue and talking about stuff. There's a reason in Street Fighter why we save the battle dialogue for the very last, because you trash your voice doing it. And when your voice is how you make a living, there need to be some protections for it. So they're seeking to have more knowledge before going into a session, what type of role they will be playing, how much yelling they're going to be doing, and sufficient breaks and all of those kinds of things. So it isn't like they're trying to say we don't make enough money. But when you consider that, yes, a day rate is sounds like a great amount of money, $800. Wow, $800 a day. voice actors are not making $800 a day every day. They could make $800 a day once a month, you know, and they spend, excuse me, most of their time auditioning for things and not being cast. And you have to have a voice that's in shape after your one $800 session to continue to audition and audition and audition so that you can get the next role and so that you can live in one of the most expensive cities in the country to live. So that's what it's about. It's not like they're trying to rip off people or say that folks at the video game companies that aren't actors, that are developers or something, don't deserve residuals too. They do, but that's for them to fight for. As an actor, we can only use our union, well, not mine, but maybe someday, to fight for what we need. And we completely believe in developers, and we wouldn't get to voice in the games if they didn't make them. And if they feel they deserve better pay, then they should fight for that. We can only fight for what we can fight for. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes plenty of sense. Like, I was telling our cameraman, like, this is like a big step, like a very, very big step, because I don't know if you heard, there was like recently a statement that Amy Hennig, who's the writer for Uncharted, she was saying that the hours that she spent working on the games and how much she got compensated, like, it just didn't balance well, like, for how much she ruined her life and everything, just trying to work so hard on those games, that it didn't balance out. And I think it's good that, like, voice actors are doing it first, because, like, without voice actors, then most of that narrative is gone, and, like, we play a lot of games a day for their narrative and how the acting is, and voice acting is very different from regular acting, and, like, I've tried to get into it before, and it's just like I cannot produce enough different voices. It's way too competitive for me.
There are people out there that think, oh, it's not so hard, anybody could do it, you're just reading off a page. It's like, that's totally untrue. And you know, for some people that play a lot of games, you probably take for granted how good the voice acting is. It's not until you play a game somewhere that doesn't have good voice actors that you realize, oh my gosh, and you're suddenly taken out of the narrative and you can't focus on playing the game right because all you're hearing are somebody's really bad dialect or acting choices or something. So I think that performance really does matter, and I do hope that because the actors have a union to help them stand up and bring this to light, that other areas of the game company will also get their moment to say, excuse me, I would like to be paid for my work.
Like, I thought it was really ridiculous how it was like, oh yeah, we just want it like to be like a little bit more fair, and then everybody, like, there was a lot of people, a very vocal minority, be like, it's not like the majority at all, we're just like, oh, but what about coders? And I'm like, yeah, that's also not fair, but we got to address this right now. So I'm glad that you guys are being very vocal about it, because it's going to be a really big step into the more legitimization of this craft, which is very vital towards both anime and video games. So yeah, I really do thank you for making a statement about that. Yeah. So is there like anything else about Kumoricon that you've noticed recently? Like, you've just been have you just been walking around, people recognize you and stuff like that?
I've never been to Portland until now, so I've actually been spending a lot of time, not a lot of time, I've been pretty busy here, when I have a free moment, just going to check out the town, and I really like it. It's really beautiful here, the people are so nice, and it's just a really cool place.
If only it was less expensive, just a little bit less expensive. But like, yeah, we've been here for every weekend for the past like 2 weeks, and we've really been enjoying it. But like, this convention center has been our home away from school, so it's been interesting. I'm glad you enjoyed Portland though. It's a really, really nice place. So that was Caitlin Glass, voice of Cammy and Winry Rockbell from Full Metal Alchemist. You can buy Battleborn to see one of her characters, and also support Gearbox, because that game was a little bit underdeserved. I feel like we gave that game an 8 out of 10. I'm almost certain.
I think it was just kind of
I don't know.
in the shadow of another super.
I don't know what you're talking about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
The timing, but I think that in the UK it was a much bigger deal. My voice actor friends who've been to the UK recently are like, they're obsessed with that game over there. Yeah. I'm like, oh good.
The humor clicks way too well with them. Oh, okay. Like, I have a friend who's British, and it's like all she plays is Battleborn still. But yeah, no, like, you got, like, I really do like the performances in that game a lot. So yeah, no, you're a good voice actor. Alrighty, so that's it.